Okay, this video is going to be for page 261 to 262. It's all about understanding these prisms. So, as we go through this, we're going to go through exactly what the example is that they gave us and then talk about where to go from there. So now it's just saying that the Venn diagram showing all the relationships between them. There's a polygon, there's triangles, there's quadrilaterals. Triangle, quadrilaterals, pentagons, they're all polygons, and then all of these are plane figures. It says to fill in the blanks using the categories. So when we look at this, quadrilaterals are both this and this. So this is a quadrilateral. It's underneath the house of a polygon and a plane figure. So we're going to say both polygons and plane figures. Okay, it also says that an oval is a plane figure, is an oval a polygon. So if an oval is a plane figure, does that necessarily mean that it's a polygon? No. Right? Because if it's an oval, it could be right here. So a polygon is something that has straight sides. Okay, so they're closed figures with straight sides. So an oval does not have straight sides. Does an oval belong in the Venn diagram hierarchy shown above? Yes. Right? We put it right here. It is a plane figure, but not a polygon. So it can go in the plane figures section. Okay, where would you include rectangles? Okay, rectangles are a kind of quadrilateral, so I would almost like make a little circle inside of a quadrilateral and put rectangle. Okay, so rectangles would go inside the quadrilateral bubble. All right, and this is the hierarchy. These are the different categories. So that's 261. Looking at 262, there's a flow chart showing the relationship. Polygons can be quadrilaterals, can be squares. Mike makes a similar flow chart for the relationship between quadrilaterals, rectangles, and parallelograms. So quadrilaterals will become first, right? Quadrilaterals. The quadrilateral could be a parallelogram. But it could also be a rectangle. Okay, rectangle is like the very specific shape, okay? But parallelogram is also a rectangle, and rectangle is also quadrilateral. So the one that's enveloping the most can be put on the top, okay? Name a property of squares that is not a property of all quadrilaterals. So all quadrilaterals can be different. So quadrilaterals can have angles, so name a property of squares. That is not a property of quadrilaterals. Okay, squares have 4 equal sides, and quadrilaterals don't have to have all sides be equal. Right? Because you could have a quadrilateral is also a diamond shape. It's also, this could be a diamond shape. It could be a rectangle. Those don't have all 4 sides, but the square does. Okay? It says to fill in the box to complete the diagram. So when you're thinking about a rhombus and a rectangle, what could count as both of those? Well, if you've ever seen, like I just drew here, right? I drew these. This and this are rectangles, but they're also a square. Okay, and then outside of all of those is exactly what we were looking at over here. So rhombus, rectangle, those are all quadrilaterals. So outside of the quadrilateral bubble was the polygon bubble. The other part was what they said here. Okay, so really I could put polygons, I could put a lot of things here. They're looking for parallelograms. Parallelograms, because these all have two sides that are parallel. Okay, the Venn diagram shows rectangles. Okay, we put right here squares, and rhombuses are all parallelograms. Also, something is both rectangles and rhombuses. Oh, squares are both rectangles and rhombuses. Draw a Venn diagram that includes the following: a quadrilateral. Okay, so we got to draw our own Venn diagram. Quadrilateral, rhombus, parallelogram, rectangle, squares. Okay, so the biggest one is either parallelogram or quadrilateral. So a quadrilateral is the biggest. Quadrilateral includes all of these. So my first huge circle is quadrilaterals. Okay, but then the next is parallelograms, because that's not a specific shape. Parallelograms. Okay, then we have a rhombus, a rectangle, and a square. So what we did here with these, right, was a rhombus and a rectangle, and then the square was in between them. So I guess the best way to do that is like this. We're going to have rhombus, rectangle, square. Okay, I drew my diagram with quadrilaterals being inclusive of all, parallelograms were the next biggest category. Rhombus and rectangles are parallel, and a square can be called a square, rhombus, or rectangle. All right, 262, 261 are complete. 261, 262.